Welcome to the Motivational Medium podcast. I'm Anne-Marie Lord, a psychic medium, author, and the founder of the Motivational Medium Academy. On this podcast, we'll explore intriguing topics such as mediumship, psychic abilities, and the amazing idea that we all have intuition within us. Whether you're a believer, skeptic, or somewhere in between, get ready to unlock your extraordinary potential as we discover the supernatural world together. If you want your questions featured on the show, be sure to join my tribe by subscribing to my newsletter at annemarielord.com. Let's go. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the podcast. Today is going to be a little bit unusual because it's something I've never done before, and I wanted to just sit with spirit and see what happened. So today's show is all about readings. Now, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know whether it's going to work, but let's just see what happens and go with the flow. So I sat in my meditation and connected with spirit, and straight away, so I don't know who this is for. So if you're listening, please be open to these suggestions. And this message just might be for you. I never know. Spirit instigate, as I always say to people, all my readings. You know, they get you from sitting on the couch to on the computer to booking in, no matter where you are in the world. And that's how I get to see you. I have no control over this. I always believe spirit has a lot more in control than I do. The funny thing happened to me one time, and I just want to quickly tell you this before I go into reading spirit and giving you some messages. This lady came and I was closing my office, and what had happened is there was a movement of a client. I think I had an appointment or something. I can't remember what it was, but this client moved anyway. And what I usually do is I usually block off the date. Now that client was for that day. I block off the date and I move the client so that no one else can book in. But in the time of me moving the client and then going back in to block the date off, I didn't notice someone within that split second had jumped on the computer and booked that appointment for that afternoon. Now, any of you that know, I actually am nearly fully booked up for the year this year. I opened up some more dates in September, but by the time this goes out, it'll probably be December time when I'm booked up till. So what I did was I was quite shocked because I was locking up my office, and she came in and she says, "Oh no, I booked in with you." And I said, "When did you book in?" And she said, "This morning." And I just started laughing. So I said, "Bear with me." I said, "I'm going to have to phone my appointment and cancel it and see ya, because I have got no control over this, and spirit obviously needed you to get in. So they've booked you in." Yeah, mental how it works. But that lady, was definitely needed to have a reading that day. Yeah, as I say, I never know how this works, but I just go with it. So what I wanted to do today, as I said, I wanted to bring through some loved ones in spirit for you. Now, sometimes when we do this in a big audience, and I used to do it on the radio as well, they can be like what we call like double links, or people can take some stuff from that reading that they can resonate. Now, there might be a little snippet of something that doesn't quite make sense. That's okay. Don't stress about that. If you feel that you've got some messages from this or some answers from this, then take it for what it is, okay? Always remember you've always got free will, and this for me is just a reading. It's not telling someone how to live their life or what exactly to do. I will never ever do that, okay? So these are just readings, and I just tapped into your loved ones in spirit. Okay, so let's go. So the first person I had through was a male. He made me feel like he was a husband and a father. He also talked to me about his mobility and how restricted he was. He said he couldn't walk during his time here, but not just at the end of his life. He showed me a neurological condition, and he did put this down to like his mobility was due to this neurological condition. He made me feel he was very restricted in his movements. He also suggested to me that his passing wasn't due to this illness. So his passing was actually due to a complication that arose. It was nothing to do with the illness. So that was quite specific. He also showed me he was in his late 50s, or he was in his 50s, round about his late 50s. And he talked about a Christmas time. So he talked about the December time, but he also talked about the December time as being significant for somebody's birthday as well, someone quite close, because he made me feel like we celebrated this at Christmas time. And then he showed me early in the year, maybe January, February. I thought it was January that he passed. He also showed me that he had 3 children. I was aware of 3 daughters. And he also showed me that he gave me the initial M for his wife. So this name was either Maureen, Margaret, Mary, that kind of name. But this was his wife. He also shows me he shortens this down. So this could have been like a term of endearment that he had for his wife as well. So he calls her the M sounding name, but it's like a term of endearment, like a nickname. He also said, and this was quite specific, he was absolutely had amazing care. So I believe that this care was taken by his family. So his wife, his daughters, his children, I believe that the care was looked after by his family. And he said he had amazing care, but nothing could be done on his last visit to the hospital. So even though he had amazing care, and he's very, very grateful for that, that's one of the things that he wanted to speak about. He wanted to say how amazing, and he feels like quite an uplifted person. So he feels like quite a jolly person, he knew how to have a good laugh. He knew how to enjoy people being around him, even though he had this horrendous restriction, as he called it, when he was here. He still kept high spirits, and he had a really good sense of humour, could be quite funny and liked to have a good joke. So even though he talks about the end of his life and nothing could be done when he went to the hospital for the last time, he also actually suggested that he was already showing signs of like that he'd had enough. You know, even though if the love of his wife and his children could have kept him here, even his friends, he was a very well-liked man, this man, could have kept him here, then he would have actually, would have wanted to stay. However, his time on this journey was coming to an end, and he was ready to embrace that. He was ready to embrace the peace, the calm, and he also showed me he was in quite a bit of pain as well along this journey. So he was ready for a rest, he said, and he just, I believe his message coming forward to do this with me today was he's free from pain. He's got no restrictions now, and he will be forever grateful for the journey that you guys allowed him to go through with dignity and with kindness, and also with the care that was shown to him. So if this sounds like someone who belongs to you, then please know this guy's jumped in to my office today to help me do this and to give you guys some peace and clarity. He did give me a couple of names. Like, as I said, he gave me an M sounding name. It felt like a longer name that could be shortened into like maybe a term of endearment name. But he also gave me a CH sounding name. So like Charlie, or I don't know, something like that. He gave me like Charlie, like that kind of name as well. So keep that in mind. He also did talk about something about either a cruise or a boat. And he was quite excited to be doing this with you. So I'm not sure whether his family have booked this holiday with this boat or this cruise, but he's talking about he's quite excited about doing that. He also makes me feel like this would have been quite exciting for him to do as well. So maybe he's actually done this in the past. Okay, but he does, he talks about a T sounding name as well, like a Tricia or a Trina or a Tina or something like that. But he's shown me the T sounding name also. And I just wanted to jump on here and share some of these messages. So I hope that message got to who it needed to be. If this sounds like a message for you, please send me an email. I love getting feedback from my messages, and the more feedback I get, from you guys on an email. So it's annemarie@annemarielord.com. Then maybe the more of these messages that we'll be able to get out there. Okay. So that was that one. Beautiful, beautiful man. And I thank him with all my heart. And I thank you guys for listening, because I always know that the messages will go to where they need to be. I'm a great believer in that. Hello, my friend. I'm popping into this podcast to invite you to something truly special. Our live mediumship events in Perth. These are afternoons of hope, gratitude, love, and undeniable validation that your loved ones walk beside you every single day. I bring through messages from Spirit, and I also do a question and answers session. So everyone gets to ask a question, and a few will get theirs answered live in the event. These events sell out really, really fast. So head to annemarielord.com to grab your ticket. I've got one coming up really soon. Now back to the show. Hope you're enjoying it. And now we're just swapping energies over a little bit. Now this energy feels like a young teenage girl. And she comes in and she's quite an exciting girl. She's quite a lively character. When you think about moody teenagers, she doesn't come across like that at all. She makes me feel like she's so full of life, so fun. Yet she also snaps her fingers at me as well. So I know that this young girl, their life was taken really quickly. She talks about her life was taken as well. So she makes me feel like she was in an accident or something, but she also makes me feel like she passed to the spirit world really quickly. So her passing from here to the spirit world was quite instant. So there was nothing that could have been done there as well. She also makes me feel that in this accident, she wasn't on her own. I do believe that she was the only one that passed to the spirit world, but she's saying that she wasn't on her own. She's such good fun. She doesn't keep still. She's like jumping around everywhere. So she's shown me that she's got lots and lots of energy. She also shows me that she's got a mum and dad still here, and she also has a brother. Now I'm not 100% sure whether she's shown me two brothers. Okay, I think it's two brothers, but she's showing me that her mum and dad are still here, and I believe it's two brothers. She says that she comes around her family quite a lot. She's quite mischievous, so I know that there'll be little signs or little things that are moving in the house, or, there's quite a lot of fun things that go on around this girl. It wouldn't surprise me if she was messing around with mobile phones, or she talks about screensavers, so she must be on someone's screensaver. She's quite funny because she's making me feel like, oh yeah, there's lots of validation for where I am and who I am. And, she talks about the new tattoo with the numbers on. So I'm not too sure what that is. And she also talks about the new child. Oh, she talks about the new date tattoo. So someone's just had a date tattoo with these numbers on. And she also talks about the new child. So there's a new baby being born as well. But she also makes me feel like there was nothing anyone could have done. Nothing anyone could have done. Yeah, she's such a beautiful, beautiful young soul. She talks about Mary or Marie or Mary, that kind of name, who she would be really quite close to. Yeah, such a beautiful, beautiful child. But she says, she keeps repeating there was nothing anyone could have done. So I don't know whether someone has got an energy of like, we could have done this or we could have changed that or what if. And I don't believe any of that should be around this situation, because she's shaking her head and she's making me feel like, no, this was my time. She makes me feel like she had so much love around her, such a beautiful life, such a beautiful time here, and so much fun. Yeah. And I think she just wants to come in and just let everybody know that she's okay and she still sees what's going on. She also says that, now this is funny for me because I get my signs on number plates, but she also comes in and said to me, my name is on a number plate. I did mention a T name before. With the last reading. But as some of you know, things can cross over, especially like in this zone here that I've never done this before without someone sitting in front of me, whether it be in an audience or in a one-to-one person. Oh yeah, I have. I've done it on the radio, so that's a lie. That was different. It usually had someone at the end of the line in the radio, but this is different. This is like total trust in the spirit world. Yeah, so she's talking about something. A name is on a number plate or a plate, and I believe she's showing me the TR. I don't know what that is. TR. So it could be her name or it could be someone connected to her. But she's very, very quick and very, very like, oh, I just wanted to come in and just wanted to let my family know I'm fine, I'm great, you know. Oh, she was blown away by the celebration. She said, I was blown away by the celebration and the things that people put in my casket. So she's talking about, I don't know whether they're writing something on the casket or they're writing something in the casket, but she's talking about writing messages. So I know that that's also something that was done. Yeah, lots and lots of flowers, lots and lots of writing and messages. Yeah. I think this lady also, or this young girl, she says, I'm a lady now. So this might have happened a few years ago, but she also talks about that, what's that? A song being written or someone's played a song for her. And I feel like it's a guitar and they've wrote this song or there's someone, because I can see people sitting around and there's a guitar playing and there's a song being sung for this. And she says, I am never, ever, ever forgotten. Never. And she loves that. And she says, oh, I'll see it in your dreams. There you go. Yeah, she's off. Okay. I think she just wanted to come in and tell her family how she was okay, how this, I'm not too sure this was a car accident or there was a vehicle involved, but that's the feeling she gives me. I feel like there's something that's not quite right about that. So that might be something that fits in with you if this beautiful young girl belongs to you, but there's definitely something about a vehicle involved. And I'll just send you lots and lots of love. But don't forget, she talked about the M sounding name, like the Marie or Mary or that kind of name, just like the guy before did. But he was talking as in like a nickname. This isn't a nickname, this is a specific name. Oh, she also shows me August time. So I don't know whether it's the 29th or the 9th, but there's something about August 9 and August. Okay. So yeah, so she just wanted to come in and say hello as well. Oh, I hope this is making sense to you guys out there, because as I say, I'm going to put this out there and just see what happens. But please, if this is any connection for you, please don't be shy. Send me an email. Let me know if any of it resonated with you. Yeah, and I'll send you a big thank you, because as I say, I would love to carry on doing this, but let's see if it connects with anybody. Now, just before we go, I want to speak to you about, I think we've got one more person coming in from the spirit world. This lady from the spirit world is a mum. She's actually shown me that she had the cancer condition, and I feel like it's around her stomach area. So I'm not sure whether it's pancreatic, liver, stomach cancer, but it's around that area. I feel more like a pancreatic thing. She's also showing me that, like my Auntie May that I've talked about in previous messages and podcasts, that she passes quite quickly. So her time with this illness wasn't very long at all. Maybe even 3 months, if that. I just feel like she may have started the treatment and then it was pulled back. And it was pulled back because it wasn't working. She also makes me feel like she's a mum of 4 children. She talks about 4 children. She's very much involved in her children and her grandchildren, and she's not worried about them, because we don't get worried in the spirit world. That's an earth, a mortal thing, as I call it. That's one of the things we can tap into when we're here, when we're alive in the earth world, if you like, whatever you want to call it. But when we go to the spirit world, we don't feel a worry. However, she's very conscious about being around her children at this time. and her grandchildren. She very much mentions her grandchildren in this as well. So this lady, this mum, she's not a very old mum, maybe in her late 50s, early 60s. She looks lots of fun. She also looks like she wants to let her kids know that she's very much around. She's thanking them for being around her when she passed. She felt so calm, so like, this is just the next step. She said, even though my journey mightn't have looked easy on the outside, the transition, she said, trust me, it just felt like I fell asleep. She said, I was so peaceful because of the amount of love that was in the room at the time. Yeah, she's just very, very grateful. Very, 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 very grateful. She talks about a house having to be cleared out or a house having to be moved. And it looks like it has to be done quite quickly after she passes. And she's okay with that. Do you know what I mean? She was a very particular person about her furniture or her surroundings, but she's saying that she's okay about it all having to be moved, all having to be changed. And she's all right about that. And she's actually got a cheeky smile on her face because she said, you know what we worry about when we're there, we actually don't worry about, or it doesn't hold as much significance when we're in the spirit world. So she's absolutely making sure that people don't want to get hit, children she keeps talking about, or if family don't want to be bogged down with the, oh, my mum loved this and we haven't got it no more, that kind of thing. Because she's saying, no. She wants to be around her children while they go through this time of coming to terms with the loss of their mum. And she's in everything. She makes me feel like I'm in every essence of every being of my kids and of my grandkids. And while I'm there, I will never be gone. So watch out for the signs with this. She talks about them being very much still in grief. So this mustn't have happened that long ago. But she talks about very much being in grief. And she is absolutely around them. Listen to the music, music. She may have liked music because she talks about music. This is where I think you may get your signs from this lady, is in music. So I hope that resonates with somebody as well out there. She's shown me an S sounding name. I can't quite get the name. I don't think it's her name, but she shows me an S and it's connected to her. I feel like I'm really involved here, but it's like she dances between her children on a daily basis, on a minute basis, she says. So I know that she's still very much involved in her children's lives. So I hope this made sense to someone, and I hope it's bringing a little bit of peace in your world as you go through this at the moment. But this lady, very strong character, lots of fun, and will never be far away, never be far away. Okay, so I hope that made sense. And as I say to you all, again, I'm going to say it, it's like me sitting here, just trusting spirit coming into my home office, and me and me mic and me computer and me notes and me pad. So I hope all them things brought someone some peace. And even if that messages or them messages weren't for you, please know and take from them that your loved ones are never, ever far away. Ever. I hope you have a beautiful day. And my friends, if you enjoyed it, subscribe. And if I get a good feedback from this, or a good, that made sense, or no, or I got something from it, then I will do it again. All right, guys. Thanks, Spirit, for coming in. As I appreciate them so, so much for the journey that we all go on together on a daily basis. Have a great day, my friends, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this show. It's important to note that while I'm here to inspire, encourage and guide you, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist or a doctor. Join me again in 2 weeks for more captivating revelations on the supernatural. Remember to be in with a chance to have your questions answered on the podcast. Subscribe to my newsletter at amarylord.com. Stay in the tribe to vibe. I appreciate you guys. See you next time.